4, 5. I think we're back. I think we're
you
back.
think we're back? I'm going to double check.
First time I've heard a count up for the Q&A.
Yeah, actually, that's weird.
Maybe I was like, what number are we starting at?
Maybe you didn't want to jinx it. Okay, so this is the second round. Yeah, we're up.
You came up.
Yeah, we're up.
Yeah, if you count up, you're never wrong,
right? Wow.
That's true.
So sorry, ladies and gentlemen, for that. We actually don't know really what happened.
Yeah. I have no idea.
We are also we're going to address this right now here to the fans and stuff like that. We're going to address this. We are going to fix these issues outright. No, it's okay. No worries. We are going to fix these issues outright here very, very soon. What we're going to do is we're going to start investing just a little bit more money into getting a desktop. Because we've been running this off it is a good laptop because it's actually like the two people that actually told me about getting this laptop.
It's a piece of shit Lenovo. That's where you went wrong.
Well, actually, it was Christian and Ian both told me like for the convenience that I would have needed it. Yeah, I was
never
told you about
you both.
This isn't a yoga. This is.
I was working with both of you when I gave you guys this, and you were both like, "Oh, for the convenience that you need it for, and for
you didn't say that I'm going to run a multi-platform podcast. Right?
I didn't realize
you never said that. I need to do word processing.
I need to write resumes.
He said, I want to do an epic podcast.
Yeah,
that could run Word.
I need a media platform.
Yeah. Okay, my bad, guys. So what we're basically going to do is eventually we're going to get a desktop. We're going to hope to get it in the next little bit here. Bear with us, of course, to the fans that are actually, because we got fans back right now, and I thank you guys for being back and stuff like that. We apologize again. Let's get right back into it.
Yeah.
Let's start with world news. Sorry. We'll continue with the snow. We're done with the snow?
Snow on the ground.
It's snow good.
World news.
Canada.
World news.
It's snowing in Canada.
A Russian fighter jet actually got shot down in Syria today.
Fucking closed Chrome.
In lighter news.
Vladimir Putin.
The only reason why we bring this up is because, of course, anytime something happens in Syria...
I was under the impression that the Russians were out of Syria.
That's one of the things I was getting into.
Like last month.
Me too.
They pulled out.
Syria is apparently been trying to stop the...
It's a shit
people from bombing.
Dying.
Right? No, remember, Syria is the one that's... never mind.
Aleppo?
Aleppo!
Can't do
shit.
that. Oh, you just crashed. Look at you.
No, that's Google. I'm loading up Google.
Yeah. Basically, is Syria has been trying to get Al Qaeda and all those little rebel groups, I guess you call them. Yeah. What?
Little.
Well, but they've been trying to get them
4 separate rebel factions.
They've been trying to get them out and shit like that.
I don't think any of us can talk about Syria.
No.
I'm like I don't know.
I don't know if I want to talk about Syria.
I'm not well versed here.
So,
Russian fighter.
Actually, hold on. I want to bring this up since I had this on here, and actually, I see somebody. What? Oh.
Is someone going on about Syria?
Nope. I think we're.
No, we good.
Oh, someone's gonna donate
She's
one Roman.
She's coming
new
through.
Luke for your new laptop.
Nice.
Lol.
One
George.
$1 Roman dollar?
Or the George.
Do you know what? It's probably worth a lot nowadays.
Thank you, George.
Yeah, thank you, George.
Thank you, George.
We'll take that.
You know what though? Maybe we should start a Patreon.
Yeah, maybe we will do that. If there is anybody out there that wants to, if anybody wants to basically help us out and stuff like that, let us know. If you enjoy this podcast and you want us to, stop crashing like apparently it keeps wanting to do, we're gonna probably start a GoFundMe or a Patreon or something like that, maybe to kind of help with it and stuff like that. So. Let's just get back down to the nitty-gritty here. The only thing else that I have for the world news is what Justin Trudeau said about the veterans. So a lot of people, what he said is wrong, yes. But, we all should know by now, is the media likes to misconstrue, thank you. Misconstrue things that are being posted out there. So basically, when the guy stood up and asked him about why there hasn't been the proper funding for the veterans and stuff like that, and he knew that he can give up his life and this, that, and everything else. Justin Trudeau basically said that the veterans are asking too much. But if you continued through the video, it still doesn't necessarily what's the word I'm looking for?
Make it better.
Make it appropriate.
It still doesn't make it appropriate when there's.
But there was more to it.
Yeah, there is...
And like I said, at least he's freaking honest. He's like,
Yes.
we don't have the money.
Because I've been putting it elsewhere because I'm a dumbass, to a degree.
Yeah. Well, and anytime there's any news
well,
about Justin Trudeau, right? Like, he's so polarizing.
Exactly.
You're always going to have one side that's just goo-goo-eyed and, like, drooling, and then the other side that's just, like, he could be like, hey, I'm cutting taxes and nobody has to pay anything for everything. Be like,
let's kill him!
All right, well, he's probably the Antichrist and he's up to something here.
Man.
Right? It's so
but
hard
there's
to
the other
find
side
a
that'd be
calm
like,
measure.
he could go up to someone and say, I'm going to raise all your taxes by 150%,
And
so
they'd
I
be
can
like,
donate
yeah.
it to my dick.
And they'd be like, you know what? His dick must need it.
You know what?
He better get
that.
that.
Is Justin Trudeau.
Yeah.
His
So
penis
it's so hard to
probably
find
needs it.
something calm.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's
there is
a little
no
bit of
middle
the
Let me just say
ground.
something. I just got back from India, and I'll tell you, we are Canadian. We have nothing to fucking complain.
We're
doing
gonna
all
get
right?
to that.
We're doing okay?
We're like whether
gonna
it's
get to
Trudeau
that. Oh, I
or
know.
Harper or not Rachel Illuminati or whatever.
Hotly, I like that. Rachel Hotly.
Illuma Hotley or Rachel
Looking
Hotley.
good, Rachel Hotley.
I think my dad just died.
I think your dad actually views this sometimes too on live, so it's quite funny. Ladies and gentlemen, that's been the world news aspect. This part, we just like to do a little bit of community plug here and give shout outs to things that are going on in the community or things that have happened. The first thing I wanted to do is, because I saw one of I think it was actually his brother that was popping up on the podcast here, is to Cole McPherson. My apologies, I could not show up to your live venue that you had for the acoustic show at the Bears Den. I had surgery the day after, so I wasn't actually allowed
any sleep because you weren't.
No, I know, but I like to apologize. Apparently, it was a pretty good turnout. Apparently, you did a hell of a good fucking job.
I
saw
it was really well received.
Yeah, I saw some of the video and stuff like that. That one original song that I saw my friend Dean record on Snapchat. I want him to sing that on this podcast.
Yeah,
That was
I want him
really
to
good.
I want to get him on.
Yeah, we are gonna get him on. I want him exposed, like in a good way. Like I want him playing shows. Like I want him. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, good job, Cole. Well done. We hope Bears Den brings you back and stuff like that. We also have the show Dying to Meet You coming up here in Fort Saskatchewan.
Nice.
On February 23rd
That's the whole
and
show.
24th. 7:30 p.m. At the Dow, so you guys can go there to see that. That's a new up-and-coming play coming.
Gorgeous little theater that we're so lucky to have in our nice little town.
Yeah. Thank God.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
It is pretty
I know,
good.
I
It's
do like
nice,
it too.
I've done
The
one thing
the room in the back
really
and stuff
is.
like that, like where you
Oh,
get
yeah.
changed and stuff. I love that. That was a nice area.
Great. Yeah.
And then also there's Tomahawk Steak Night at Brew House, ladies and gentlemen. I do not have the date because I'm an idiot and didn't. But it's a $35 like tomahawk fucking steak, man. Oh, it's gorgeous. They're going to be selling it for $35. You get like deep fried broccoli and something else on top. Mr. McDavid, are you pulling it up, I assume, or no?
Oh, no.
That's cool.
It's
That's
you.
cool. So that's just a couple of community plugs and stuff like that for you, ladies and gentlemen.
But it's a sweet tomahawk steak. It's a
Now,
steak.
because we
Straight up.
have
With an axe in it.
Wait, you go to have an axe?
because we
Bear
have
and a hatchet. Against me, you vegetarians. Come out.
You veggie haters.
fucking liberals. No, I'm just kidding.
If you guys want to, you guys could share the video too.
No, we
yeah.
will.
The new video too.
I'll do that.
Yeah, everybody share the new video. So this is where actually it's pretty good that it kind of cut, I guess, because we can do editing
Now
later on.
we can just edit that.
Yeah,
So
we're going to get into the interview process, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to start the interview here with our good friend, Christian Standard,
Hey!
a.k.a. Mingle,
What's up?
Lloyd, for your new up-and-coming play, Dying to Meet You. So first of all, just give everybody like a little bit of a summary of what is actually going to be happening in the play, if you can,
Well,
without
we got
giving too much away.
a nice little crazy fast-paced comedy. Am I on here?
Yeah, you're good.
How's it going, guys? Thank you for that introduction there, Chris.
take myself out of the camera.
Take it out.
Good, buddy?
So
We've been doing these shows for, this is my 10th one now, I think.
Yeah.
So we've been doing them for a little while. This is, you usually go for the comedies. Same deal with this one. Nice, fast-paced, crazy farce. One person thinks one thing's going on, somebody else thinks something else is going on, and nobody talks to each other, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah,
that's
which is
usually how we do it.
Yeah, I loved actually the one that you guys did last year, which I do believe was the Games Afoot, right?
Yes, sir. The game's afoot.
Yeah, that one was really,
the
really
Sherlock
good.
Holmes homage.
Yeah, the intro to that I really enjoyed. What's his name? The one actor's name that was Sherlock Holmes.
Kieran Murphy.
Kieran Murphy did a hell of a good job last year. I love his acting.
Yeah.
So my other question to you is, who's the guy that beat me this year?
That beat you.
Yeah,
time and commitment and a wonderful daughter. That's what beat you, buddy.
Yeah, this is true. I wanted to try out for Big Brother, and Kim's like, like, say you get into Big Brother, and like, I'm gonna be home alone with a baby. What about me? And so I was like, okay, fine, I won't do the play, I won't do Big Brother, I won't try out for any of these things, but whatever, that's okay. What is the cast like this year? You have a lot of returners?
We have a couple, usually, same as usual, we got a couple new faces coming through, and then a whole bunch of old hats that everybody will recognize.
Like Nathan?
We got Nathan around. Mal and her mom are stage managing for us.
Oh, very nice.
In the show again.
Very nice.
I got a small role in the show as well.
So you got like Quentin Tarantino-ish.
Yeah, exactly. A little bit of cameo kind of at the end of the show.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I always took you for one of those type of directors too. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
arrogant, just like to put my face in there as much as I can.
This is my fucking show?
Yep.
It's my show. Okay? No, you're doing this
I just kind of walk out and wave to everybody and be like, and then I leave. And that's my...
Oh, hi, I'm the director.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what's funny? If I ever actually start making movies, I want you to do that now. Like, I'm just going to have you like in the background of just a random scene where he just like turns around and he just waves and stuff like that.
Dead eye the camera.
Yeah. Yes. Like, once I start making films or whatever the hell is going to happen after the podcast.
It's just like a 15-second scene.
Just
staring at the camera.
Like, it'll literally be
in the
something
middle of
serious.
Every film.
Every film.
Every single film.
We'll even start it with the Fun with Foobz videos and shit like that we started doing. We'll like have it like really serious and like zooming in on me, and then Christian just kind of like pops out of nowhere. Like,
it needs to be plugged in for every sex scene. Or it just cuts to...
Oh my god!
Just slow pan up from the bodies. And just me.
Like
and then
that's what I want to see.
Oh yes.
Then it cuts to the next scene and it's like nothing ever happened.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Just me sipping a cup of coffee. Morning, Barbara.
And we'll be like the creators of South Park at the Oscars. Every time someone asks questions about it, we'll just completely go around it. It's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just really happy to be here on Acid, and yeah. You guys do know about that, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I know you know. The creators of South Park, when they were nominated for an Oscar in the late 90s, actually showed up in dresses and on acid. And whenever people started asking them questions, they just never answered. They were just like, "We're just really happy to be here and nominated." That is what I eventually. I mean, not acid. I don't know. But I eventually want to do something like that. I want allegedly, yeah.
So is this your first time directing, or is this your like second? Or
this
third?
is like my sixth
time
directing, I think.
Bad.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
What have you noticed?
So
now
like
first time
as things change.
Oh man, like there's so much stuff that just comes so much easier. It's just like it's kind of like second nature. But then there's other stuff that you didn't focus on before because you didn't know that you should have, right? So it was like little things that it's just like, I'm stressed about this, and this is a big thing, right? But now it's like I'll notice those little things that are so much more work that maybe don't put as much into the show, but they give it that little extra bit, right? Yeah, the polish and things like that. Yeah. Like this year, we're going like theming the show differently, or like giving it life beyond what's just on the page itself, right? Like this show too, it's like great script, lots of jokes and stuff like that. Like it keeps them coming, it does exactly what it's supposed to do. But there's not, like, it leaves it really open for you to put a lot of life into it. Yeah. So, like, what we did with this one is we're doing it like it's a sitcom in the 90s. Right? Okay. So, like,
add a lot more characterization.
Yeah, exactly. And like a lot more cheese, where it's like, even in the script, in the program that the audience gets, right? Yeah. Like, right at the bottom of it, it says right there, Dying to Meet You is filmed before a live studio audience, right? So it gives the actors kind of more of an excuse to like, oh, you hit that punchline, and you can also be like, ah, and give it a little extra legs.
Right? Hey, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Not only
that's
work
cool.
off like the actors, but the audience themselves.
Yeah, exactly. And then
and
then we get to go with obviously the '90s theme, which is so much fun for costumes.
Yeah.
Because we just like deck everybody out in denim and fucking
Was it like the
neon.
original
So.
play based on like the 40s?
This one? No, actually, the play was written in 1998. So it's originally set in Britain. So we moved the location and we changed some of the language, obviously.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
really
Crikey.
fit for...
Is it-
yeah,
is it-
exactly. Blimey, mate!
Blimey.
Not really.
Yeah,
Yeah,
can't have that.
but yeah, we changed
What do you switch Blimey with?
That's the thing. It's, you just like...
Context
depends
going
on-
on mood, whatever the other actor or actress kind of portrays before your
Yeah.
wording and stuff like that.
What's
Yeah,
our-
you just kind of got to go with it.
What's
So,
our Canadian weird things we say?
A?
There's actually, you know what I noticed is that
Maple
we didn't have to add any A's because like in a British text there were plenty.
Yeah, that's
Like,
true.
there was a
Right.
lot in there.
Yeah,
That is right,
use it
yeah.
quite a bit.
Yeah.
It's just the context of it is a little bit different than we do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right
Yeah.
on.
I find that Canadians do it because it's like a community thing, right? Instead of saying like,
Yeah.
"Hey, it's nice weather today," whereas like the person's like, "Okay," it's like, "Nice weather today, eh?" Then it's like it forces that person to be like, "Come on,
You have
like
to
let's have a
address it.
conversation."
Oh, yeah, hey, like,
this is
hi, hi.
Then it's like a loop, and there's just A's.
Yeah, exactly. It is, hey, you got it, eh?
What a beautiful day!
I wanted to bring this
hear
up
off
too, is
there.
because lots of people.
It's like dogs howling.
I wanted to bring this up because a lot of people kind of asked about this too. Is rare form theater? How did that actually get started?
Oh man, if I remember. Actually, Lisa and I met. I think I was still in high school.
So who is Lisa again?
Lisa Whitson, she's from Fort Saskatchewan as well. We started Rare Form Theater together like 10 years ago.
She is also the one that directed the play that I was in.
Yes.
Which was
Yeah,
she
Black
did an
Comedy.
amazing dumb. Yeah.
That was
awesome.
3 years ago? 2?
3 or 4 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
And so, yeah, I was in high school and I auditioned for a show that she was doing with another group in town and that she was directing. So we did that. It was called Murder at Rutherford House. It was
that's
a
a good
murder
question.
mystery. We did that.
fucking know.
That would have been like 2008, I think. So we finished that and then we wound up getting asked to do it by another group privately. And so we went to the company they were with, and they let us do it kind of on our own.
Mm-hmm.
So after we did kind of that one show just by ourselves, and realized like that we had like a little bit of backing for and a little bit to get the ball rolling, then was like, hey, we can do this, right? Like, what does it take to actually get something like that? So then we kind of just, now that the ball was rolling, it was a little bit easier to go out, and then we wound up going to the city, and they've been awesome in getting kind of like sponsorship from them and having a setup with them where they contract us to come back to them every year.
Fucking nice.
Yeah.
Right on. And who were? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Where do you see yourself going with that? Do you think you're going to keep doing more stage-related stuff? Do you want to hit bigger
probably.
stages?
Well, like what I've always would really like to do is do like musicals and stuff like that. But
Fuck,
I mean,
yes.
there's so many more moving parts and stuff for that, and then getting
You
things
gotta have
going
dance
with it.
numbers and
Yeah,
stuff
exactly,
like
and
that.
even like the pre-production stuff,
Yeah.
like pricing and stuff like that. Rather than just paying for the rights for the script, you're paying for rights for scripts, you're paying for music books, you're paying for rights for music.
Oh, yeah, everything.
Musicians, things like that.
Yeah.
But now that we've been doing this for quite a while, you get a little bit more momentum, and every year gets bigger and bigger, and now you can start looking at having a bit more of an
funds.
nest egg. Yeah, exactly. To get something
Right on.
going.
Bigger name you have, the more likely you're going to get.
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Get this
yeah.
man a
and then,
Patreon.
and that's the thing too. Is like, yeah, when you can say like, hey, I'm gonna have 2 nights where I have 800 people sitting in a seat. What do you want to say to them, right? Because then that's what advertising is,
Yeah,
right? It's like,
yeah,
hey, I got
exactly.
800 people here.
Yeah.
Do you want to put an ad there for them? So if anybody's looking for some advertising, this guy has got a captive audience.
Exactly, and they've also helped us on the podcast by being a nice sponsor and stuff like that. So that's why we've given you guys shout outs every single time, and we appreciate it, of course. Any other shout outs or anything that you want to give before you?
No, just I hope everybody can come out and see the show because it's going to be a really good time.
Yeah.
And I hope, that because like everybody's been working so hard on it, and it's always like it's always really satisfying to see everybody's work pay off and have we don't get paid in money for things like this, but we get paid in applause, and that's more than enough. So the more that we get, the better.
And being part of it that one time, literally, I've never had.
I mean, we'll take the money. I mean, if you don't have any, if you're out of applause, we'll take your money.
Yeah. As being one of the actors that was in one of your plays and stuff like that, I've only been in one play, and that was in high school. And then when I got to get that applause after,
it's a cool
it was
feeling,
like,
man.
oh my god.
Yeah, it makes it all worth it.
Woo!
Yeah.
Anyway, are you gonna stick around for the rest of the podcast?
Yeah,
or-
I got a little bit still.
You're
so
still
I
good?
might,
Okay,
I might
cool.
sneak away because I know once Kim gets here, I'll sneak away and save that spot for her.
Yeah, that's what I kind of figured. Well, thank you very much.
Well,
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Pleasure as always.
To all the people that are basically still tuning in, if you want to see Mr. Stannard's show, go to Dow Theater or go to ticketpro.com
Ticketpro.com
to get your tickets for the show. Dying to meet you,
You can
ladies
just
and
search
gentlemen.
Shell Theater. You can just search February 23rd and 24th. It's one of like 4 or 5 shows in the whole province that's going on that day, so you'll see it right away. Rare
Right
Form
on.
Theater. Just remember that. You'll see it.
Right on. Yeah, there you go. See,
There
we'll
she
just
is.
pop it up there for you.
Look at that.
Yeah, buddy. I told you we got you covered, man. Don't you ever worry. Thank you very much again. So now the other interview that we have here on the podcast, Chris, you can make sure
February
that
23rd and 24th.
Oh, February
I just saw
23rd and
that.
24th. Yeah, there you go. Chris, you're going to start off the interview process with our good friend, Mr. MacTavish. I will move this over a little bit for you.
That should be. That's like
Sit
Right
back a
there.
little bit because I don't have to kiss.
What?
sit like this.
You guys can kiss if you really want. I mean, we do live in Canada.
You're whispering into my ear too much. I like it.
And so Mr. MacTavish, just for the viewers need to know, is back from India, ladies and gentlemen. He had a great time in India, and he's basically here to talk about his experience in India, to certain degrees, if you would like, and basically yoga and what he can offer you, and why he's now a sponsor on the podcast. And Chris, take away.
So welcome back. Welcome back from India.
Yeah, man.
I heard India was a fun little experience. Something a little bit different.
Is that what you call diarrhea?
That's what you call diarrhea.
Dysentery. To be proper.
So just go through the.
So I think just to kind of what's the word?
Preface?
No, the preface of my entire yoga experience and my
Build up
education. I started this 4 years ago, and I kind of got into yoga not realizing what it was. Like, I'll go to a hot yoga class, and then I realized how hard it was. But also that it made me feel a lot better. It helped my shoulders, helped my wrists, helped my back, all these things. So 4 years later, I've done teacher training every year. And I have 900 hours of TTs. And I went to India to finish my education and to get that authentic stamp of approval.
An authentic feeling.
But I learned a lot more than I was expecting, and especially not even just about like yoga, but the world and like how lucky we are to be Canadian.
Would you call it culture shock?
Like I landed in the Delhi airport, and the pollution was so bad that we couldn't drive or take flights out, and literally wiping pollution off your face every 2 or 3 hours because you can feel the grime and your lungs hurt, and it is just incredible. I took a 6-hour cab ride across the country, and it was just absolutely shocking. Just people growing, it's all sugarcane and poverty and dust and just people. It's smoggy, and it's just incredible. Like we don't even understand how polluted it is.
Well, that's like now, like if somebody had tried to explain to you, would you have gotten it?
No.
Exactly.
No.
So now, I mean, I don't want to push any boundaries or anything, but do you want to talk about how you kind of like got dicked over for your cab ride, maybe?
Yeah, it's hard. It's so different because when you're on a podcast and trying to say stuff.
Yeah, like obviously.
Wow, but that's just
certain-
being in a foreign place, right?
Yeah.
You're
Well,
targeted.
different place.
Yeah, like I got ripped off from day one.
Yeah.
And the yoga school I was staying at, there was mold in our bedrooms. You know,
That's not what you want.
It's like trying to.
That's that Indian mold too. That's like
man, like
Super mold.
super.
like trying to get do this practice and train and be positive and connected, but also like waking up sick and like horrible diarrhea and stomach pain and just like unbelievable. Like I lost 10 pounds in a month, and I'm a skinny yogi.
Yeah, this guy cannot wait to lose.
And it's actually kind of funny because
Wow.
Kim said this morning when she saw your yoga video that you had
So-
posted and
yeah.
stuff like that, she's like, I thought MacTavish was a little bit bigger than that.
Yeah,
I was like,
not
oh, we
anymore.
know.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
tiny right now.
Yeah.
But it's fine because I can do handstands and shit. helps.
Bottom heavy.
Now that I'm lighter,
Exactly.
I can hold my weight over my head. So, but it's it was a really incredible experience and valuable. I just really
Just not in the ways I think you were.
No, and you never and that's the thing about expectations, right? We were talking about expectations. Expectations don't have expectations, don't have attachments to ideas, and it was a very good learning lesson.
Mm-hmm.
Right on.
And like I said, we were so lucky to be Canadian.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
did you have like good experience? Though?
oh,
Did
dude,
you-
I, like some of my teachers were balling.
Yeah.
We had this guy Swami Chi.
Swami
Swami
Chi.
Chi.
I like
and
that.
He, like because
Straight
I've been on this journey for a long time, and I was one of the reasons I went is
I
because
do yoga.
it's because of the authentic guru,
Chakras
right?
full.
There's people talk about enlightenment and that there are enlightened people on this planet, and the only way to truly know is if you go and look for it yourself.
Yeah.
I met a shaman in the Ecuadorian jungle that had a vibe that you can't really describe. It's just like they feel like they just know shit.
They know
And they're
shit
just
all the
super
time.
empathetic, and it's like they're reading your mind. They just it's really weird. And Swami Chi was the only person I met in India who had that same vibe. It was different. It was more detached, but it was like he knew. And man, he was wise and open and transparent. Like I started asking, like I asked him a question. I was like, you talk about the spirituality in India and all this, everybody's connected and we all take care of each other. It's like, well, how can you have a caste system? How can you have a Brahmin at the top? And how can you have an untouchable? Like there's a lady literally outside this school starving to death. Every time I walk by her, she goes like this. And I see her little boy running around shirtless with a tire and a stick. I'm like, so how can this, like if this philosophy is so powerful, how can these things coexist?
Yeah, if this religion is so powerful and the following behind it is so huge, how do you still allow such poverty?
Like
and
how
such,
could it function? Yeah, right.
Yeah, how do you allow this to happen? Yeah, that was the big thing that you told me that I did. I'm glad you did tell everybody about it.
And he's like, yeah, it's fucked.
Yeah, straight up.
And
Yeah.
but he said, he's like, it is, but like people are like this. People are crazy everywhere you go, and
Yes.
there's still a lot of room to cover with the people in India, and it's just totally like because the cultural context of like how I view it and how I look at it. But there's the thing about like, do you guys know what enchanted means? Something to be enchanted.
To any of the viewers, do you
Do you
know
mean
what
like
enchanted?
What is it?
mesmerized
What is
by
it? What
it?
is it? What the word enchanted comes from this idea that when you entered a place, there was chanting.
Oh,
That there were
okay,
literally
I see.
people.
There's
That's it, yes.
literally
Like when you go around India, everywhere you go, it's the
There's
mantras.
sound.
It's like the Om Bhurbuva Suvaha
Om.
Tasavitu Varenyam. Like, and that is like you walk down the street, it's playing in the vendor. The people are singing it by the river every night at the Ganga, the Ganga, the sacred river. They do fire ceremonies. They pray to that river every single day.
Yep.
And so from the way we view the world, like we are so rational and skeptical, and like we don't like if I started chanting, you guys are gonna be like, what the fuck?
I really don't
Yo,
go down to the Fort
but-
River and start a fire.
but-
and be like,
hey, I will. I'm down.
But the same thing is like this gives them such connectivity as a people. Like the culture, their culture is so powerful that they are connect. There is the dysfunction, but they have a sort of spiritual connectedness.
Well, it even has anchors and like fingers over here. It's so strong, right?
Well,
spiritual
here's
nationalism. in a sense.
a fascinating thing about mantra. We talk about the Hindu Om, right? It's A-U Om.
Yeah.
Om. Think about Om. You break it down into 3 parts. It's the A, the U, the M. Think about
It's a diphthong.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. It's the same thing. And then you start to realize in all these different religions all across the world, even the shamans, they do this. They have these sort of mantras and voice chants, and they actually work physiologically. If you break down the A, it's lower in the belly. You break down the U, it's in the chest, and the M in the throat. It's a vibratory experience. When we go to and it's funny because one thing I realized too about enchantment, what do we do when we go out and party? What do we do? What were we doing the night that you got engaged?
We were outside shit.
We were singing at karaoke.
Yeah.
Well, we were saying outside that fucking
connects
chant was
us.
awesome. I'm so glad that
Yeah.
you guys were there for that chant.
So I tell you, I learned a lot, and to see it all, and to see that we're all fucked. like they're
Well done.
It's different, but it's the same.
but Swami Chi was just like, yeah.
Well, do
You
you
know?
think like, because you're saying that he was the only guy that you got that same vibe from as some of the shamans in Ecuador. Do you think that comes from like, because he had the confidence and humility to be like, oh yeah, it's not perfect, like there's flaws.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, oh no, this can't be wrong, like we just don't see it.
Yeah.
Where, and like maybe some of the shamans were the same way, where it's like, I know that my way isn't perfect, but it's a way, and it's a good way.
Well, see, the archetypical story is going into the forest and being alone for an extended period of time. And Swami Chi spent 5 years alone.
Like the
in
Spartans.
forest. Like by himself, right? Like living hand to mouth with the bull. Like, but the shamans do the same thing. It's the exact same thing.
A lot of it was coming of age rituals.
What did Jesus do? Jesus wandered off in the desert, right?
Yeah,
there is this part of like you have to do this suffering.
But he goes and comes back crazy. And,
I am the son of
now you're grown
I am the
up.
son of
And
the
I do
Halaboy.
think
Now you're an
that
adult.
Like I've learned from yogic science that there's a lot more going on to our perception in terms of just how we perceive our body, the power of the breath and its influence on the nervous system. When you get more connected with nature, you tend to kind of become detached and less, I guess dogmatic is the word I'm looking for.
Well, you also went there to get more of the book side of yoga as well, right? Because you are a person that does like to actually do some studying when it comes down to the whole nitty gritty of what you are interested in, aka what you did with psychology before, your power engineering and stuff like that. So it was really cool for like as your friends when you were like, I'm going to India, and we're like, okay, like why are you doing this in India? They're like, well, they actually have like the books that we're actually going to sit down. I was like, oh, well, there it is. So are you actually? I know that you took the books that you bought, right?
I bought the entire original Hatha series.
Yeah,
so I've been crushing it on my own.
Yeah, and so you're actually going to use that in your teachings and your practices as well, right? When you do these private sessions and stuff like that.
Are you going to be teaching more of like?
You be
Maybe
teaching
standard kind of yoga from like a foreigner aspect, or are you going to be teaching like North American yoga?
Or are you going to take all of it?
There is a difference.
Yeah, you're going to take all of it and hybrid.
My general philosophy is fuck gurus. Like that.
And
like,
fuck Jeff.
And fuck Jeff.
We forgot to say that on
I
this one.
shouldn't sorry, but like the problem is like for me to teach, I have to be complete. I have to be authentic.
We'll
Right?
tell you
I have
later.
to be completely authentic to who I am, how I talk, whatever. Right? Like. I'm some dude from Fort Saskatchewan. Like, I'm not enlightened.
Well, I respect that, man. 'Cause,
And
like,
I'm not even going to try to pretend to.
Yeah,
maybe. I'm not going to put that angle on it. What I have spent, I'm going to look at what we get. I'm going to take the knowledge we get and reappropriate it.
what's there that's real, that really has an impact and really changes people? What's the common thread that is why everybody wants it, right?
Yeah, you're probably going to learn as you go too, right? So sorry to cut you off.
No.
Yeah, you're going to learn as you go.
Yeah, but because I hate those things, and yoga's one of those things that's really prone to it, where people go like, oh, you have to come into it in this way, and oh, you're just doing it for health and not for the spirituality and like religiosity of it, then oh, you're not really doing yoga.
That's a big thing
That
with a lot of those
gatekeeping.
You know what? I'll make a point here. Is what we're doing here in the West is not yoga.
Right.
It
can be a different thing.
I'm sure there is very authentic practitioners who are following like the yoga pradipika to the core, like just like I'm reading the Gita, I'm doing the Upanishads, and I'm gonna like
because it is
follow Patanjali's sutras, and it's like okay, good luck. Like good luck in this modern environment.
Yeah, that's like I'm gonna be an ascetic monk. It's like I mean,
like,
okay,
I
but
tried that shit.
I
tried it.
It's not practical.
No,
well, it's like when somebody like comes to guitar and is like, oh well, you have to get lessons from this person. It's like, well, you see tons of people who just pick it up and teach themselves, and they don't play the same way as somebody else, but they play their own way.
But people base a lot of their things off their own personal experiences, right? A lot of people are going to be the type that learn from just what they learned, and then they want to preach that.
Exactly. Because they want to think it's the best way.
That's like the same thing with
they're
yoga.
the best.
It's the same thing with political beliefs and a lot of things. It's a widespread thing.
One thing that I became aware of when I was trying to deal with my shit was the culture that we're in. right? Like our culture, it kind of promotes identity politics and tribalism.
Yeah.
Because we're not really,
lately,
we
Yeah.
don't have a strong,
Especially lately.
like you look at India, they have an incredibly powerful religious system
Very.
that keeps that they have 1 billion people. And they manage, even in the pollution and the squalor and all the problems they have, they still function.
Well-
It's incredible that they can do.
Yeah.
Here, oh my god!
Isn't
Put me in it. I lasted like a month, and
Oh, yeah.
it was incredible. I couldn't handle it.
Isn't a caste system though like the ultimate end result of extreme identity politics?
Yes.
Because at the caste system, all that matters at that point is your identity,
Yeah.
is your class, right? That's
And
all that matters.
Like that's something that is definitely apparent around.
Exactly. Well, yeah,
You don't
exactly.
see it.
Because it's like you have the Brahmin, right? Which
Yeah.
is like, okay, they're on the top of the heap. Whereas with like the oppression Olympics right now, it's like, oh, it's like you're a black transgender female. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, well, you're the Brahmin. Like you're on top.
Oh my
you
God.
can't. You can be offended
and
by
see-
everything, and
and
are
this is-
untouchable, right?
Well, that's not only that, but it's like what would be the gentle way of.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are apparently talking about religion.
yeah,
on the
sorry,
podcast.
I'm.
No, it's
Christians
okay.
here.
It's okay. I'm just saying, that's what we're talking about in a way
sensitive-
too now. Yoga
What's
and
the word
religion. I
heard
like
about
this.
It's like sensitive politics, sensitive idealism, like that new.
Oh, sensitive ideologies.
that, well, the thing is that how everyone can be offended by everything these days.
Yes.
And like that's a
Well, see,
very,
it's
very
fine.
big
And what
North
this-
American- it's fine. I
It's
just
fine.
don't like the idea of it changing like standard law.
Oh yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's like
Or
I can
even
be
moral
offended by
laws and
something,
stuff.
and that extends exactly to here. That's the end of where my
You're
offense
above.
matters. Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
above.
Well, and I
But
think I think it's good to have rights. It's good to have
course.
freedom, and
Oh,
it's
of
good
course.
to respect people and all this.
Oh, yeah.
But even more important is responsibility.
Yeah.
Is individual responsibility. And what I feel is we cannot we can't look at the tradition. Like if there was a system on this planet right now that was working for everybody, we would have.
We'd
peace.
have it.
It would be.
Yeah.
It would be.
Yeah.
It would be.
It would be
Starfleet.
working.
We
Yeah.
would have Starfleet.
But
We'd be
we're
flying across the
diverse.
universe,
Yeah.
but we're still
Stargate.
killing each other all the time.
Yeah, we're all
so,
different.
So when we get upset about appropriation and we get stuck in this I'm a me thing, we're failing.
Yeah.
And so my goal is to completely reappropriate yoga.
Yeah.
And
That's awesome. That's
and
a
make
great
it,
goal.
and be honest and,
Yeah.
and be
McTA-
acceptable. Like I grew up watching MTV.
Yeah.
Like, I can't-
Yeah.
I grew up watching porn.
There you go.
We all did. It's we're
I still do.
but it's this is a new age, and we have
Yeah.
to move forward
Yeah,
with
because-
it, and not scream at each other because you didn't use Adho Mukha Svanasana for downward
Right.
dog.
Now, with that being said, MacTavish, you did bring up something beforehand that I kind of want to introduce to some of the viewers here, and just in case you actually do broaden your idea and actually get, say, like a studio in your own class and stuff like that later. Once we legalize this, this beautiful herb that I've heard great things about, are you going to try doing weed yoga? Marijuana, yeah.
Oh man.
I've never tried it, so I'm actually
honestly,
really interested to know
Personally,
if.
I've heard that it was really good.
Yeah,
Well,
Man, falling asleep was like my worry about yoga in the first place.
yeah.
That would be like hard.
But then,
to-
yeah.
I see. I've used marijuana since I was so. I started smoking pot too early.
And like
and
that would
if you actually
cut
talk to
off
me,
his-
if you guys actually, I probably have one of the weirdest views on marijuana. I don't think it's good for everyone, and I
Yeah.
don't think legalization will be as good. I think that there is potential for abuse.
Oh, yes, yes.
And I'm
yes.
not saying like don't smoke weed, throw them in prison, but I'm also saying too is like moderation is key.
in all
And
things.
and all things, including marijuana use and yoga specifically.
Including moderation.
Everything in moderation,
Including
moderation, and
That's
I think it's a good thing. It may help people get into it more, but traditionally, traditionally, you wouldn't want to do anything with it. You'd want to do yoga on an empty stomach first thing in the morning, or 3 to 4 hours after to really get the benefit. Marijuana can be a gateway if it helps you get there. It can help with pain. It can help with relaxation, but it shouldn't be relied upon.
Exactly.
Yes.
Just used as a enhancer, and that's what I worry about with the studios, where everyone's just getting blasted on
Yeah.
edibles all day, and then just
It becomes
you
more
know,
about the marijuana
About the
than
high
yoga.
instead
We
of
actually have a
yoga.
question to you, I do
Yeah.
believe. Does weed hinder alpha or promote it?
hinder alpha.
Yeah.
Like alpha what, brainwaves?
I'm not too sure what he means there. My Uncle Jordan actually asked that, so if you could be a little bit
like
more...
alpha, like to be like more masculine.
Does he mean,
I think...
I'm assuming it means like alpha waves.
Alpha
like
waves.
Are those the deep state? That's
like the flow state.
Way
that's
over
like,
me.
I can't remember if it was alpha or delta, but if he's talking about the
if it's flow state, then it definitely
it depends on the
promotes.
individual.
Yeah,
because some people smoke pot and they get
that's
horrifically
true.
anxious, and some people
true.
Like there is been on the forefront of saying like you probably shouldn't smoke weed unless you're around 21. Because
your brain isn't
noticeable effects on an individual when you smoke it when you're young.
Your brain isn't done until you're 25. Like your prefrontal cortex isn't fully developed.
Yeah, but you're going to tell people not to smoke weed until they're 25. But
with that said, once you hit 18, at least in our country, you're free to do whatever the fuck you want.
He does say alpha waves, yeah.
Alpha waves. Like I said, it would depend on what takes you into that flow state. Like what's going to help you focus and concentrate. Some people it's going to be marijuana. Like for me, sometimes but other times it's had the complete
other times you're stuck. Yeah, exactly. You just get anxious.
And really, like that's why I say don't rely on it.
Yeah, that's true.
You get there yourself. Mm-hmm. That's the goal. But if it helps you, whatever. Depends.
It's really
it always depends. Yeah.
Well, thank you for being very informative and stuff like that. Do you have any plugs or anything else that you wanted to say before we're actually going to open up the phone lines to this?
Phone lines. Like I said, thank you guys for the platform to share my message.
Yeah.
Dude, thank you for being a sponsor. And thank you for being a sponsor and stuff like that.
My goal now is to give back to people. I've been very privileged to just have the experience to travel and learn. And now I just want to teach people for free. And if you want to give me money, sweet. If you don't, give your mom a hug.
Completely optional.
Let's I don't care. Let's just I go back to work March 16th, so I got a month and a half.
And you guys want more information related to Ian's yoga sessions?
Yeah.
That'll be on the FunwithFoobz and Chris Facebook, and with Rare Form Theater, we're also going to do a plug on there as well. I'll get a link to you guys.
Yeah, for sure. We got a Facebook, we got a website.
So we'll throw that up there as well. Cool. So if you guys are interested in any of that, just check that out.
Thank you.
Right on. Thanks again, brother. Yeah, thanks again. So this is the end of the podcast, but we're not done. We were going to do a game, but because we had a little bit of broadcasting problems earlier on, we're basically just going to open up the phone lines and just bullshit like we did last time. This is, we had all this nice technology that we wanted to use today. Didn't fucking work. Realized we're going to need a desktop. So right now, we're just, if you want to be on the podcast, you have any questions about Rare Form, you have any questions about yoga, you have any questions about the podcast, you have any comments about anything, you want
early Roman history.
We can talk about anything. BDSM, we talk about anything really.
Did you know Nietzsche had syphilis?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Who?
Sorry.
Who didn't have syphilis back then?
See, no, this is good actually. MacTavish has brought up a random ass topic.
Fun fact of the day, when they were wearing those wigs back in Britain?
Mm-hmm.
Why they were wearing those?
Lice.
No, syphilis. Everyone had syphilis,
so
they were bald.
Yeah.
What?
They used to put bacon in the back of it too.
Did they?
Yeah, they put bacon in the back of it because then the lice that would be in their wig and in their hat would just all go to one spot. Yeah.
That's the
best way to
Or
do it.
that's totally BS and I got pulled in by it, but who knows?
It could be though.
It's the future. There is post-truth era we live in.
That's pretty cool, actually. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, we're got about 5 minutes before we'll end the podcast, so just know that, phone lines are open. Call me on Facebook if you want to be on the podcast. Questions, anything.
Pretty exciting.
Yeah, actually, we had Uncle Jordan on there last week, and he was actually very informative, asking a couple of good questions. But we figured since we got 2 big sponsors on the podcast, we'd open up the lines and keep them open just a little bit longer, so that they can answer any questions, or, if you guys have any comments and stuff like that. Just remember, this is a rated R podcast. Let's keep it rated R. Let's not go past that. Let's keep the languages appropriate. For fuck's sake.
I got a question.
Of course.
What's the worst thing that's happened to you on stage?
I knocked a tooth out on stage once.
Epic.
Yeah, that was back in high school though, and I had a fake tooth, and I was doing a drinking scene, and I was drinking from a bottle of wine, and I was supposed to be sad. I got a little aggressive with it, and I knocked my tooth
I think I remember
right out of my face.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, spit it into the bottom of the bottle. Finished.
Did you bleed out?
No, it didn't bleed at all. Just snapped the tooth off. Yeah.
Good man.
Yeah.
Good man. What about? I know you. I mean, we've all forgotten lines on stage and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
But has there ever been a time where it just was just
No, not really. It's one of those weird. It's
fuck.
I think it's like a. I mean, I know you can always find like video of it on YouTube and stuff of somebody totally blanking and tanking, but it's like a survival response. Like it's in there, like you've done it so many times that it's like once you're up there, even when you panic, then it's like you have that minute of panic, and then your brain's like, oh, I got to do something, and it just pulls the chute, and it just like pulls you out.
Pulls you out.
And even when like something crazy does happen,
don't chase the rabbit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Just don't think about what's going wrong, and then all of a sudden you'll be back into it. Like when those things go wrong, that's the most fun. Because it's like, because the goal that you're looking for the whole time you're on stage is to not think about what just happened and to not think about what's going to happen next.
It's being fully present.
It's totally being right there and knowing what you have to say right now and where you have to be right now.
Yeah.
So then when something happens that goes out of the script, then you have to be in the moment. Because if you're thinking about what's supposed to happen, well, that's gone now. It's not going to happen that way. And if you're thinking about what did happen, then you're not figuring out how to fix it.
So that's like when I was in your play.
Yeah.
When I was in your play, we had that artifact.
Right.
And it broke.
Completely collapsed.
On stage. And I had to be like around it. You know what I mean? I had to be doing stuff. And like, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to call it. A few of us forgot the line because we all went, what the? And then I was like...
And then it pulls you out. All of a sudden, you're out of that moment.
Shit. And I did not know what to do. I was like, oh my God. So the only thing I could do... And I know it's wrong when you do this on stage because I know you have to technically get back to the script. Mm-hmm. I just was like... I poked it. And it just kept swinging.
Yeah.
And then I just poked it again. It kept
then the audience is doing something that they're busy with.
Exactly.
And it's like a magician, right?
Yeah.
But instead of just being one person doing it, it's a whole cast of people doing it. Because one side of the stage would be like, "Hey, look at me. Here's where the action is." Well, the other side switches things around for you or something like that.
We did it when I was in musical theater in grade 12.
Yeah.
There was a section of because it was like we were doing all the songs by Tenacious D and everything like that.
Right.
So there was something that went wrong, and we just didn't like the way this one scene played out. It was kind of boring. So me and James, what's his name? Marcus's younger brother.
Yes, I know who. Yeah. I can't think of his last name though.
Me and James.
Davies. No name dropping.
No.
James something or other.
I can't.
Good guy. We improv the whole scene.
Yeah.
So it was like a good 10-minute scene because we needed to waste time for them to set up the stage. So we just sat there and literally bullshitted away throughout the entire thing.
That's the best.
Yeah.
And it was fucking good.
Yeah, exactly.
It was great.
Yeah.
This is kind of like what
natural, a lot better.
Yeah. It's kind of like what we're doing now. You want to be part of the podcast, ladies and gentlemen? We got about 3 minutes left of it. You can call. Any questions about rare form? Any questions about yoga? Any questions about why Chris is Chris? Any questions about how my surgery went? It's all good if you don't want to. We're just letting you know that if you want to be on the podcast, all you got to do is call me now on Facebook Live.
So what's your favorite part of being a dad?
Oh, is it the fact that your hernia's now gone? Is that it? Is that it?
Shut up.
Paused it.
The best part about being a dad. Oh my God, there's so many things.
I can see tears in his eyes right now.
Yeah, I know. Like,
he's tearing up. He has a soul, but Ginger has a soul.
The best part about being a dad is probably literally like not even just every morning when I wake up to go to work. It's just any morning when I do wake up and I see...
As opposed to the mornings that you don't wake up and you're dead.
I'm in the dark again. Is when I wake up and I see. I get one wish. I get to see but usually Bilbo's cuddled up to me. He can't right now just because of the surgery. But usually he's cuddled up and I got to move him. And then I move him to Kim, and Kim is sleeping with baby in the bed, and they're just all snuggled up and shit, and they're all passed out, and It's just knowing that I'm the one, and Kim as well too, but I'm the one providing the roof over the head and stuff like that, and they're mine. Yeah, that's my family.
Yeah. That's
like I had my family before, of course, with my parents and stuff like that, but I now totally understand why people would kill.
Why do people procreate?
Anything ever happens to their wife or their kids or their dog, once you have a house and a family, it's I'm very protective.
Like who's the guy from the prison show? He is in the prison.
The gymnast.
It's the gymnast is doctor. I watched that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not him. It's the other guy.
And he What are you thinking about here?
So many guys.
Because there was the one of the dads of the
One of
kids
the
that
dads
was in
went
the
up to
gymnast
the thing,
program.
and because they were getting
Give me
everyone
time.
all the line. He's like, I want 5 minutes with him.
Yeah, and they're like, obviously
Oh
no.
my
It's
God,
like,
Okay,
yeah.
what could I do for one?
yeah. It's like,
1
okay,
minute.
okay,
1 minute.
no.
All right,
And they
sorry,
said-
I got to do this
And
now.
I
My
was like,
apologies.
I'm doing it anyway. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just ran up.
And you know, and props to the judge, because the judge afterwards is like, too many people are getting in trouble right now for trying to go after this man. Can we
Yeah.
all stop it? I'm not going to lay any charges on this father because he didn't really get a hold of him
Yeah,
or
exactly.
anything like that. The cops did what
We
they had to
understand
do.
why you did that.
Exactly. And like, it was,
But-
when I watched the video and stuff like that too, I was like, I'm sorry.
Most
You
people
have
would
you guys
feel
ever
for him.
seen the video? It happened
What is
a
this?
while ago in the
This
80s.
was a gymnast for the United
Larry,
States.
Larry,
Yeah, there's this
NASA or something.
guy
Next-
that was
yeah,
a
yeah.
doctor for
like,
United
dude,
States
he
gymnasts.
assaulted a lot of these,
265 women or
and
something.
then sometimes in
Underage.
front of their
Yeah.
parents.
Kids.
Like, it was
got all
bad.
these kids to come in and did
Oh yeah,
doctor prescribed things.
Oh, yeah.
And basically fucking rape them.
yeah.
And
So-
he did that to like pretty much all the females in the
So
United
this
States.
this dad went
Gymnastics.
up there and like gets to talk because he's there. And he basically he
His
gets to
daughter's
deal
a
with all the
gymnast,
shit. Yeah,
But I
And
think we
he-
should. I think we should almost get off that topic because we're going to do that whole that phone thing first.
Well, the phone thing has been up. We're just waiting for someone to call.
Oh.
I've been,
Oh,
like I told them, we got about.
They're shy.
We had about a minute. Yeah, everybody's shy. I don't understand. Last week we had one person call in. It was really good. Nobody's got any questions for them because we do got a minute left.
Nobody wants
but-
to talk to us. Well, fuck you then.
Fuck all of you. So yeah, we'll basically we'll run through the sponsors here. If anybody calls, we'll just we'll take it quick. Let's run through the sponsors there, buddy. Our first sponsor at the end of this podcast for podcast 13 is Curly's Coils. For your harder, better, faster, stronger vaping needs, ladies and gentlemen, get to the guys at Curly Coils. For your alien heads, your straight pipes, whatever kind of coils you need, they usually got it for you. Message
They
them.
got it.
You got it.
You got it.
You got it.
You get it.
Yeah, so just get to them.
Right.
Is it up there, Chris?
It's up
yeah,
there.
okay, cool. Yeah,
We'll do
whatever
both
else you
of
need
them.
for your vaping needs.
They're going to
We
treat
also
you good.
got our director here to basically give his own shout out for Reform Theater.
Hey, look at that beautiful poster. I'm not going to read the crazy good copy that we have here because it's literally just
Yeah, it's the same shit
thing that's
over
on
and
the Ticket
over and
Pro
over
thing.
again.
But yeah, you guys, it'll be a really good night. Should be some nice fast-paced comedy. We got some really talented actors too
Yes,
this
you
year.
do.
So
Yes,
and
you
every
do.
year, yeah, exactly. So it will be
Oh!
awesome. Hey, we got a caller.
Oh, we got a caller here right before it's all said and done. Looks like we do. Give me a sec here. Oh,
shit.
oh. One moment here. Let me get you up on all of it. Oh, you are on live, my Uncle Jordan again. How are you doing?
Uncle Jordan.
Oh, you want to get that on?
Jesus, you gotta
Where's,
have
hold on one
this.
sec
Look
here.
at that.
Where's
The
the
speaker?
Where's the speaker?
Where's the speaker?
You got
Is
it.
that it?
Yeah.
Hello? There,
Ah,
we go,
there
okay.
you go.
There we go. Uncle Jordan, you are on the podcast again. How are you doing?
What was that again?
Oh, not too bad. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. We're just chilling here with my good friend Christian Stannard, the director of an upcoming play, Dying to Meet You, and one of our other best friends, Mr. MacTavish, who is doing some yoga and is back from India.
I thought you were gonna
Hey,
say
guys.
doing
How you
yoga in
doing?
his bathroom.
Good.
Good.
What's up?
I wasn't gonna call in, but it felt kind of bad because
We're swinging in the wind here.
Yeah, nobody called in. I was like, oh, is anybody? No, that's cool. But I guess we're going to have a segment at the end of the day now with you calling in every time.
Uncle Jordan.
Oh yeah, sure.
The Jordan Report.
Hey, what do you guys know about drywall?
Yeah,
About drywall.
about drywall. See that now. This is the kind of questions that we need when people call in. What do we know about drywall? I know.
I
What do
used to be
you?
a framer. Hit me up.
Yeah, all right.
Chris,
This
we
is
got
for
one.
Chris. All right, what do you got for us, Uncle Jordan?
First, what's the proper way of cutting drywall?
With an X-Acto knife. And then you
Well,
break
obviously.
Yeah. Well, obviously.
it.
Yeah. He says cut it with an X-Acto knife.
Snap it.
Snap it.
Snap it.
I didn't know that shit.
Man, it breaks so easy once you put like one single cut
Put a
on
line
it.
through the
Yeah.
No,
one
I
side.
see these guys. They do that and they snap it, and then it just completely comes apart.
Or
And
the-
when I do that, the paper still kind of stays intact.
I think you have to bend
Yeah.
it the opposite side that you cut it on,
I
so that it
think
like pulls.
So yeah, because you need to put that pressure right at the cut.
Oh.
when
So
you're
then
moving
it splits. So like
Yeah.
push it from the opposite side that you cut from.
Yeah, and then it should be just as easy as pie. I used to cut like
Easy as pie.
10 feet long fucking frames off them, right? So you go and you cut 10 feet off with one little X-Acto knife cut.
Nice.
Yeah. You karate chop it.
Yeah, you could do that if you want.
Just karate chop the shit out of
But
it.
you usually want to keep that piece for extra. But yeah.
Did we answer the question appropriate to you, Uncle Jordan?
Yeah.
Nice.
Good. Well, we're gonna.
To be honest, I was screwing the drywall to the wall,
Yeah.
and then cutting through the frame, and like not cutting it, like measuring it out, and cutting it, and then, like cutting it with a saw. So all the lines are really shitty right now. But anyways, you guys take care.
Yeah, you thanks, man.
All right. Thanks again, Uncle Jordan. We'll probably talk to you next week.
Okay, man.
Take it easy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love having my Uncle Jordan at the end of the podcast. So let's just throw in the last two. Our shout out is to Daddy-O's Fort Saskatchewan, ladies and gentlemen. For all your fine smoking accessory needs, get to the man at the downtown location of Fort Saskatchewan. They got a lot of merch there that you're going to love. A lot of Rick and Morty stuff. They got your pipes. They got your vapes. They got your incense. They got your posters. They got skateboarding gear, t-shirts, socks. Man, they got everything there, literally. Just go and check them out. There's a lot of stuff there that is just perfect that you guys will love. And also, we give love and thanks to our new sponsor to the podcast, Mr. MacTavish, who has an unnamed yoga right now, but we're going to call it the Ian MacTavish Yoga, ladies and gentlemen. He is going to be part of the giveaway that is going to happen around 420, ladies and gentlemen. We're not going to give MacTavish away unless the appropriate...
One of the yoga instructor in your very own basement.
Yeah.
He comes with his own slave collar.
You don't even have to feed him much. He's used to
eating nothing.
Let's get enlightened together.
MacTavish has basically offered free yoga classes, which is an introduction to yoga. What he is doing before he goes back to work on his vacation, he is giving you free lessons and free group lessons. But the giveaway that he is giving is when these lessons are gone and not free. You'd have to pay for them.
They're good forever.
Exactly.
Yoga fundamentals. We'll call it yoga.
Yeah, we'll call it yoga fundamentals.
Capital F-U-N.
It's free.
Yeah. 1 hour.
Yeah.
You can do it in a 3-hour section, or you can do it in 3 1 hours. Or
Exactly.
You can just not do
And
it.
that's the
Like,
You can just win and not take
Yeah, you can win and not take it.
It's going to be yoga fun-mentals. That's your logo.
Ooh, fundamental.
It's the yoga
And it's because we got
mentals promotion. For these guys.
So yeah,
We
basically,
just gotta trademark the word fun now.
fuck. So MacTavish is going to give that away to the giveaway. We're going to have more things on the giveaway later on throughout the year. Stay tuned for more information about that, ladies and gentlemen. It will be called our 420 giveaway. We will give you more information on how to get your names in the draw and all that kind of stuff. Remember to subscribe, and if you want to check out part 1 and 2 of the podcast today, go to YouTube, where you can subscribe to us at the FunwithFoobz&Chris channel. If you want to see a lot of the background content before and after the podcast, ladies and gentlemen, go to my Snapchat, and don't ever go to Chris's again.
Never!
Ever. Go to mine at Foobs.
Actually, mine's
77.
gone. Like, I deleted it. I was like, I'm done.
Instagram is also where you can see us, ladies and gentlemen, at the FunwithFoobz&Chris Instagram.
things.
Our Facebook page, where you can find all the information about Rare Form Theater. We're going to post a link there. We posted Ian's yoga video there today, so you can also get a hold of him through that. I think that's it. Besides our logo winner, Joe Lane, and our giveaway winner last year, Logan McCallerick, this has been the Podcast 13, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you again. And sorry about the little technical difficulties later on. We'll get that fixed. Let us know if you want to help us with some money. That actually hurt to yell, but it's okay.
That out later.
Throw that logo up there, and we'll just do our
we'll just
bullshit,
do some
20.
talking. We'll talk about stuff.
That logo's up?
Yeah, logo's up.
Good. So yeah, if anybody...